I know you're gonna think I'm nuts, but today I'm gonna tell you 3 things that I've learned from watching Yellowstone and how it applies to being a producer in today's environment. Come on, let's go talk. I am an unapologetic and huge fan of the television series Yellowstone on Paramount. I mean, there are so many things about the show that we can learn from. Maybe part of it's the fact that I grew up in the city and very rarely had any experience to the country or the mountains or any of the things that are experienced on Dutton's Ranch. But at the end of the day, these people work hard and there's a lot to be learned. But there's also some things we need to learn that will keep us from making some of the same mistakes. So I'm gonna give you 2 negatives and 1 positive. Let's start with the positive first because it's one that everybody can control. The cowboys that work on that ranch are at it every single day. They do the routine things they need to do to get their job done. They eat their 3 meals, they sleep, they do whatever they do on the weekends to let the steam off, but they put in a good day's work. As a producer, I can't tell you enough about how important it is for you to put in a good day's work. In fact, I'm writing an entire book called The Dirty 130 that's gonna give you all the things you should be doing on a daily basis to get a good day's work in and set yourself up for success. But the other thing I noticed is that the cowboys don't have the right view of their role. Every episode, at least one time, you hear Rip or one of the other people that are in leadership on the ranch remind people they don't deserve the opportunity that they've gotten. I don't agree with that. I think we all deserve the opportunity that we get. It's a matter of what we do with it that determines whether or not we're gonna be successful. If you go to work every day to put in that good day's work that we talked about earlier, and you don't have the right mind frame, you might as well not even get out of bed. If you think you don't belong or you think you don't deserve the opportunity, you're never gonna go out and get what's yours and ultimately reap the most success you possibly could. The third thing that I wanted to point out, and this one brings up another negative, is that the cowboys always have to be reminded of the rules. Listen, the insurance industry is heavily regulated. We get that. There is a group of rules we have to operate by. We don't need to be constantly reminded, and if you're a producer and your agency has a structured program that you're supposed to follow, it's not your job to reinvent the wheel. Now, I'm all about collaboration and sharing new ideas to take agencies into the next decade. But at the end of the day, we got to figure out how to just do the basics. Get up every day and put in a good day's work. Have the right mindset. But keep that train on the tracks, people. In last week's episode, I watched a young kid, an early 20s guy, and an old cowboy all get reprimanded because they weren't doing the basics and they had to be reminded. Any of us are smart enough to learn, memorize, and execute on the basics. The only thing that gets in the way of us doing that is us. So if you put in a good day's work with the right attitude and you just stick to the basics, you can't help but be successful in this industry. The problem is we all think we're smarter than the basics. We all want to be sexier than the basics. And we hang our hats on a lifestyle career when at the end of the day, we can all get the lifestyle later by putting in the work right now. And the sweet nectar of retirement will be oh so much sweeter. So think about those 3 things as you go about your work this week. You're gonna kill it, commercial insurance.